The sky over the dead world was dark and quiet. No birds, no wind, no sound. Only cold black stone and broken metal filled the land. A small alien scout ship hovered above the surface. Inside, 3 soldiers looked at their scanners. They were part of the Velen race, known across the galaxy for their strength and fearlessness. The captain frowned. "Something strange is here." "What do you mean?" asked the younger scout. "Power. Readings, old ones, but strong, from deep underground." They sent a small drone into the cave nearby. The camera showed twisted tunnels, shattered walls, and a long-abandoned human outpost. Dust floated like ghosts, but one chamber was different. A soft blue light glowed from inside. "Should we go in?" the young scout asked. "No. It's too risky," said the captain. "But we must know what's down there." One brave soldier stepped forward. "I'll go." His name didn't matter. He walked into the cave with a light, a blaster, and a strong heart. He followed the drone's path deep underground. Every step echoed. The deeper he went, the colder it felt. The blue light grew brighter. He entered the chamber. There, standing in the center of the room, was a tall figure. A suit of black armor, smooth and sharp. It didn't move. It looked like a statue. But the eyes, 2 glowing orange slits, were lit. The soldier spoke into his comm. "I found something. It's not on any record. It looks human. But..." His voice stopped. The signal cut out. Back on the ship, the captain tried to call him. Again, nothing. Silence. "Send the second team," the captain ordered. They went down. 4 of them, armed and ready. They found the cave. They followed the path. But when they entered the chamber, there was no body, only a message, scratched into the metal floor by something sharp. "It watches." The word sent chills down every spine. Even the captain, a veteran of 5 wars, felt fear rise in his chest. They left the cave and flew back to orbit. But something strange happened. The scout ship's systems failed for 1 second, just 1 second. When power returned, the black-armored figure was standing outside the ship. No engine, no signal, no movement on radar. He was just there, and then he vanished. Back on the main fleet station, the footage was shown to top leaders, scientists, strategists. Everyone had the same question. What is it? No one had an answer. But one old scholar came forward. He carried a piece of ancient human text lost for centuries. He read aloud, "The Ghost of War, Project Echo, the last weapon." "Is it real?" someone asked. No one believed it, the old man said. Until now. And somewhere, far away, hidden behind stars and shadows, the figure moved through space, alone, silent, and watching. It was not hunting. Not yet. It was waiting. The Velen High Command didn't believe in ghosts. They ruled 2 galaxies, they crushed worlds. But when they watched the video of the human figure appearing outside the ship, not blinking, not breathing, some of them looked afraid. "It must be a trick," one general said. "An illusion." But the data was real. The heat signature was real. The fear in the eyes of the surviving crew, very real. Still, they didn't act. Until a message came. Not a call. Not a signal. It appeared inside their secure war network. Just 3 words. "I see you." Panic spread. How did someone break into a closed system? The High Command sent a full cruiser fleet to the dead world. Not scouts, warships. But when they arrived, the planet was gone. Not destroyed. Not exploded. Gone. As if something lifted it out of space. "Where is it?" the admiral shouted. Sensors scanned the area. Nothing. No gravity pull. No dust. Just a cold, empty hole where a world once was. But then, something appeared on their radar. 1 dot, small, fast, coming straight toward them. The admiral ordered full shields and weapons. The ships formed a tight defense wall. Thousands of missiles, plasma cannons, and AI systems pointed at the incoming object. Then, it came close enough to see. It wasn't a missile. It wasn't a ship. It was him. The same black-armored figure, floating through space without a ship, without any tech. "Fire everything," the admiral screamed. Lasers lit up the void. Explosions filled the sky. The power of 5 worlds slammed into that one target. Then silence. Smoke cleared. He was still there, untouched. The figure raised one hand, the front cruiser, over 3 kilometers long, folded in half like paper. The admiral screamed again, "Retreat," but no one answered. The ships were already dead. No systems, no power. The lights flickered one last time. The last video from the fleet showed the black armored human walking across the cruiser hull. No sound, no breathing, just walking. Back at Velen Command, one voice finally broke the silence. "This is no soldier." "No," whispered the scholar. "It's a relic, a cursed one, born in Earth's final war. A human weapon built to never stop. It doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive." "But why now?" a general asked. "Why has it returned?" The old man slowly turned to the screen showing the last transmission. "Because someone woke it up," and across the stars, deep in empty space, the black-armored human opened his eyes. Inside the suit, the man didn't remember his name. Only the mission. Protect humanity. Eliminate threats. The galaxy had forgotten Earth. But he had not. In the cold dark between stars, fear spreads faster than light. The Velen Empire had sent fleets, thousands of ships. None returned. Now their outposts were going silent one by one. No explosions, no distress calls, just silence. The High Command had never known fear until now. They watched one last feed from a deep space sensor near the edge of their territory. The sensor captured a single image before going dark. A shadow, a tall human in black armor, glowing orange across the chest. No ship, just him, standing in space, as if space itself belonged to him. The admiral crushed the datapad in his claws. How? How is he doing this? No one had an answer. Far from the Empire, on a jungle-covered planet, a different kind of predator watched the stars. It was one of the ancient ones, a war beast feared even by the Velen, covered in armor bone, eyes like burning suns, teeth that had chewed through tanks. This creature had ruled its world for thousands of years. It had killed everything that tried to challenge it. But now, it stared at the sky and trembled. It felt something coming, not prey, not hunter, something worse. It began to run, deep into the underground caverns. Even monsters know when death is near. The black-armored human floated outside the remains of a moon-sized station. He didn't blink. He didn't breathe. But he remembered. This station once tested weapons on helpless species. He remembered the screams, the data, the names of the planets. Now, it was empty. The human walked across the steel floor, dragging a heavy blade made of a metal no scanner could identify. Behind him, the walls melted without fire. They simply unraveled. He left only one thing behind. A message burned into the last surviving panel. I am still watching. In a secret temple on a crystal planet, ancient scrolls opened by themselves. Glowing runes twisted into warnings. The monks screamed as visions hit them. Visions of the Black Warrior who did not die. Visions of a galaxy on fire. One monk whispered, "He was not built to save. He was built to end." Another replied, "Then, we must prepare." The first monk looked into the flames. "No, we must pray he never looks at us." Across the galaxy, pirate lords, warlords, and hidden kings began to vanish. One by one. No war, no shots fired. Just gone. And in their empty thrones, a simple mark was carved. No one knew what it meant. But soon, everyone feared it. Inside the black armor, the human remembered more now. He remembered Earth, ruined, gone. Not by aliens, but by humans themselves. And he remembered why he was created. He was the last guardian, not of peace, but of balance. When power tipped too far, he would rise. He didn't kill for revenge. He killed for warning. And now, the balance was broken again. Too many tyrants, too many empires built on blood. He whispered into the void, his voice mechanical and ancient, correcting course. Then he vanished, and the hunt truly began. The Galactic Council had not met in centuries. Now they were all gathered, over 300 different species. Some had feathers, others scales, and some were more machine than flesh. But today they all had the same emotion in their eyes. Fear, the center. Hall flickered as holograms showed disappearing fleets, silent colonies in one repeated image, a human in black armor with glowing orange lights. One council member, voice shaking, spoke, "We must stop this, now." Another shouted, "How? No scanner can track him, no ship can catch him, entire systems vanish before we even arrive." The room fell silent. Then the lights dimmed, and the main display, without warning, changed. A new message appeared, written in every known language. "You were warned." Gasps echoed. Some delegates screamed. One fainted. The message vanished, and the council chamber felt colder. Far away, a bounty hunter had picked up a strange signal. Deep in space, near a long-dead planet, his ship locked onto movement. He approached slowly. A giant black structure floated ahead. It wasn't a ship, it wasn't a station. It was something else. Something breathing. The hunter aimed his scanners. Nothing. Then a voice filled his cockpit. Not from speakers, from inside his own mind. "Leave." The hunter dropped his controls. His hands were shaking. He turned his ship without thinking, and never returned to that part of space again. On a mining moon, workers discovered a strange cave. They laughed at the old symbols. "Ancient warnings," one said. They went deeper. One by one, they vanished. The last worker left a message scratched on the rock. It read, "He is under the stars. He hears everything. Do not speak his name." Then silence. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, a shadow moved behind the walls. Security bots scanned. Nothing. But still. The shadow moved. A small maintenance drone rolled into a dark corner. It paused and exploded, a single perfect blast, no noise, no fire. Just a sphere of darkness. When the light returned, one thing had changed. The statue in the center of the chamber, representing galactic unity, was gone. In its place was a metal shard. On it, carved deep, "Justice is not a vote. It is delivered." Deep within an icy planet, a being older than the stars opened its many eyes. It had not moved in 10,000 years, but now it was awake. It spoke only once to the void. "He walks again," and then it began digging upward. Even the old gods feared what was coming. In a hidden archive, a librarian pulled out a forbidden book. On the last page, drawn by an extinct species, was a rough image, a human, armored in black, with burning stars. For eyes, under it the words, "When the stars scream, he is near." The librarian closed the book, locked it away, but it was too late, because behind him, something stood, watching, breathing, and when the librarian turned, he vanished. Only the echo of a whisper remained. Balance must return. No ship saw him coming. No sensor picked up his trail. But across the galaxy, systems began to go quiet, one by one. The sky above planet Verdun was clear one moment. The next, dark. Not with clouds, with something massive. The people of Verdun looked up. Ship, black, smooth, with no markings, hovered above their capital. It didn't fire. It didn't speak, it just waited. The defense grid went online. Fighters launched, but every weapon system shut down on its own. Pilots screamed into their comms. "We can't lock targets. The ship, it's not there, but it is." Suddenly, the black ship's underside opened, but instead of missiles, it released something else. Silence. An eerie hum filled the air, soft and low, like a forgotten lullaby from a dying star. The people felt it in their bones, and then He stepped out, a human, alone, wearing the same black armor the Galactic Council feared. Orange lights pulsed like a heartbeat across his chest. He walked across the air slowly as if gravity no longer mattered. The city below watched in frozen fear. In the Council's war room, panic exploded. "Verdun has been taken," shouted one general. "No shots fired?" another demanded. "None. Not a single casualty. They just surrendered." "Who is this human?" someone whispered. A scientist brought up an ancient file, one barely readable. On it, a blurry image of the same armor, the same glow, and the words, "Project Revenant, cancelled, too dangerous." The room went quiet. Back on Verdun, the human stood before the planet's ruler. The ruler, a six-eyed being twice his size, fell to his knees. "I surrender, Inda," said voice trembling. "I didn't come for war," the human replied. "Then, why?" the ruler asked. The human raised one finger to the sky. Above them, thousands of tiny black drones appeared, silent, watching. "Because someone's lying, and I'm here for the truth." The drones shot out in every direction, searching, digging, recording. On a distant moon, a secret prison held beings that had no name. One prisoner, wrapped in chains of light, smiled when he heard the hum. "They finally sent him," it whispered. A guard raised his weapon. "Who?" The prisoner leaned forward. "The one death fears." In a temple hidden under the oceans of planet Garan, a priest read from a forbidden scroll. "He who returns without sound. He who kills without touch. He who ends empires." Suddenly, the water turned black. The priest looked up. Something massive passed over the temple, blocking all light. The sea boiled for 1 second, then silence. On Verdun, the human stepped into a control room. He pressed one button. Galactic networks lit up. Every screen showed his face. Every language translated his message. "To those who've hidden the truth, I see you now. To those who've broken peace in secret, I'm coming. And to the predators who think they rule, you feared me for a reason." And just like that, every signal cut. Across the galaxy, leaders locked doors. Old warriors pulled out forgotten weapons. And legends once thought dead opened their eyes, because now they knew. He had arrived. Fear does not knock. It crashes in. Across the stars, panic was rising like a storm. The mysterious human, alone, silent, unstoppable, had now shown himself to the galaxy, not through war, not through words, but through silence. And silence was louder than any explosion. In the deep chambers of the galactic predator clans, once feared across hundreds of systems, a secret meeting took place. Leaders of every blood-hunting species gathered in a dark circle. Their claws tapped nervously. Their eyes darted to shadows that weren't there. "He's only one human," one growled. "One. But he's not just any human," another hissed. "The old stories speak of him. The Revenant." "No," whispered the eldest among them. "Not a Revenant. The Revenant. The one who ended the blood war in one night. The one who made the machines shut down with a breath. Impossible. He was never real." "Then explain this," the elder said, sliding a data crystal forward. The image flickered. Blurry surveillance from Verdun. The same black armor. The same pulsing orange lights. The younger leaders leaned back in fear. "We're prey now." At a war academy on planet Vorex, a young cadet looked out the window as drills stopped mid-session. Sirens screamed. Students were herded into bunkers. "Is it an attack?" one asked. "No," the instructor replied, pale. "Then what is it?" "Worse. A reckoning." They watched live feeds of ships falling back from their forward stations, entire fleets retreating without orders. Why? Because the black ship had been seen again, this time near the edge of the Arkan Rift. Each sighting left the same trail. No bodies, no battles, just silence. And surrender. Meanwhile, on a lifeless moon, deep inside a forgotten vault, an ancient AI came online for the first time in 5,000 years. Its first words, human threat level, absolute. Its second, prepare evacuation. Protocol Galactic Core. The machine paused, a third line appeared on its interface. He knows. The vault doors exploded inward. A figure stepped through, calm, slow, unarmed. The AI tried to speak again, but its lights dimmed, and the Revenant walked past. Back in the Galactic Council, emergency sessions were held. Screens flashed images of chaos, fear, and ghosted fleets. "He's not killing," one ambassador said, shaking. "He's changing something." "He's making us afraid," said another. "No," the High Speaker corrected. "He's making us remember. We thought humans were gone, forgotten, but now we know one survived, and not just any human, the one built for war, the one no empire could break." A young envoy asked the forbidden question. "Why do they call him the Revenant?" The room went still. The High Speaker answered slowly, "Because he returned, when he never should have." In space, near the Cradle Nebula, a massive predator ship spotted something on their radar, a single human signal. The captain laughed. "Just one ship? Fire all forward batteries." But nothing fired. Every weapon went dark. Lights flickered. Systems crashed. Then the captain saw it, through the thick star fog. A black silhouette moving through the void, walking. No ship, just a man, a human. His armor glowed orange in the dark. The crew screamed. Some ran, others begged. But the man simply walked, and the ship powered down forever. Back on Verdun, the people looked up every night, wondering if the human was still there. He was, not on their streets, but in the shadows of their thoughts. No, one had seen him leave, but the sky above still held a black shimmer. A shape, waiting, watching. Some began to pray to him. Others warned their children to never speak his name. But it was too late. His legend had spread to every planet, every empire, every mind. And in the deepest part of space, something older than any empire opened its eyes, because even it feared what had come. One human. No weapons, no army, just a name. The Revenant. The stars were quiet. Too quiet. Across thousands of systems, war fleets had vanished. Entire battlefronts collapsed. Not because of attacks, but because of fear. Fear of one thing, one man, the human they now called the Revenant. But no one knew why he returned until now. A forgotten world at the edge of known space slowly came into view. No one had visited it in centuries. It had no name anymore. Just a code. Earth. Once it had been home to the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Then they disappeared. Some said they destroyed themselves. Others believed they simply left. Now the last of them had come back. The Revenant stood alone, on a broken mountaintop. Behind him, the ruins of an ancient Terran outpost. The wind howled through crumbled towers. He didn't move. Above, hundreds of alien fleets surrounded the planet, watching, waiting, daring to understand. No weapons fired. They were too afraid. A small diplomatic vessel broke formation and landed near him. From it stepped the Supreme Chancellor. Of the Predator clans, huge, armored, sharp-eyed. He approached slowly, claws shaking. The Revenant didn't speak. "You returned," the Chancellor said. The human nodded. "Why?" the Chancellor whispered. The wind answered first. Then the human spoke. His voice was calm, flat. "Because you forgot what we are." The Predator. Chancellor took a step back. Behind him, his guards drew weapons, then lowered them. They felt something, a pressure, not physical, existential, the kind of fear that came from realizing. They were not at the top anymore. The Revenant didn't flinch. He raised a small device, a glowing cube. As it floated, it projected a galaxy-wide message. This galaxy fell into war. into slavery, into silence. Now, the children of Earth return, not for conquest, not for revenge, but for balance. You broke the galaxy. We will fix it. And then, above Earth, the impossible happened. One by one, cloaked ships appeared in orbit. Human ships, ancient ones, silent ones, warships older than the galactic calendar. Their hulls were covered in unknown materials. Symbols glowed in lost languages. They made no sound, but every sensor screamed. The fleets watching fled, but not fast enough, because the stars turned black. Not from weapons, from shadow, from the awakening of Earth's hidden power. In the Predator homeworld, an emergency council was called. They debated fleeing the galaxy. "We can't fight this," one said. "They're ghosts," another muttered. "They're humans," the elder growled. And we mocked them. All screens in the chamber turned black. A single word flashed: remember. Back on Earth, the Revenant stood as 1,000 human soldiers emerged behind him, quiet, precise, terrifying. They didn't cheer, they didn't speak, because they were not here to celebrate. They were here to correct. Above, the human fleet began its silent campaign, not of war, but of dismantling. One by one, tyrant systems fell. One by one, slave markets vanished. One by one, empires surrendered, and the galaxy began to change. They never found the Revenant again. Some say he returned to the stars. Others say he was never truly human, but a weapon built by Earth long ago. But all agreed on one thing. He came back not as a conqueror, but as a warning, to never forget Earth, to never forget what happens when you push too far, and to never assume silence means weakness. For in that silence lurks a storm, a human storm, and the galaxy would never forget it again. The end.